Hi, I'm Todd Rigby, the mayor of the city of Eastville. Recently, we've had a lot of discussion about bringing different things to the city of Eastville, different events, different opportunities for our residents. And as you have recently heard, there is an awesome event that's coming to the city of Eastville that we're very excited for. You may have heard recently that Tailgate Fest has announced that they will be holding their event coming up this summer here in the city of Eastville. I'm here with the co-founders and the promoters of Tailgate Fest, Allison and Melissa. Can you share with us a little bit about what Tailgate Fest is and what it brings to the city of Eastville?
Sure, for sure. So for us, Tailgate Fest is we've created this world. We're curating this world of this small town Americana vibe that you can't really get a lot in SoCal necessarily. We've created tailgating and country music, and we've put them together in this what we think is this perfect serendipitous world of festival, type kind of fun. But it's a lot more than a festival. Because for us, what Tailgate Fest is and what makes it unique is that it is the very first ever festival of its kind where you can actually watch the show from your tailgate. So in a lot of ways it keeps people very contained, but this is the tailgating industry is a massive industry that has a lot of passion behind it. The people who tailgate, they're passionate. They're buying grills and their coolers and spending tons of money on their trucks because they love this activity of tailgating, but it's always been looked at as this like byproduct of either football or country music, and this is the first time where it's actually like its own nucleus-focused, spotlighted, type kind of activity.
When you're talking about Tailgate Fest, I would imagine Tailgate Fest means that you got to have cars. You're probably going to have a lot of cars. You're probably going to have a lot of people. One of the things here in the city of Eastville that we get concerned about sometimes is about traffic. Mm-hmm. Traffic. How are we going to deal with traffic? Right. We have all these people that are coming to Eastville. How are we going to deal with that?
Yeah, I mean these are always the concerns that we're used to getting. We've created a bunch of other Halloween events and other curated worlds in other parts of the country. In Los Angeles, we have the Los Angeles Haunted Hayride. So this traffic safety, concern, noise concern, these are all the concerns that are very typical of most communities. So for us, from a traffic standpoint, it's super important to us, number one, to work really closely with fire and PD, and we have an entire team that's devoted to nothing but traffic infrastructure. So starting, right now, where we're looking at all of the surface streets, the interior of the property, and figuring out the best way to get cars quickly off the surface streets into the interior, even if that means creating different entry points. So I mean, we're prepared to pop holes in fences and create different entrances and exits, but it's the traffic delineation and the infrastructure is one of the things we spend the most time on. And for instance, last year we had Tailgate Fest at the Forum, which is a very residentially perimetered venue, and it's a square just like the Lil Ranch, and so the objective there was to just get the traffic off of the surface streets into the perimeter where they were kind of in our own environment, in our arms, and we could use switchbacks and kind of control them and their movement that way, and it works. It's effective.
It's important to note too that we've been producing events for 15 years and very high level events with lots of attendance every year, and you can't get more traffic populated than Los Angeles and the Forum. And it's important to note that we actually had a glowing recommendation from the city of Inglewood and the city of Inglewood Police Department. There were 0 incidents. Everyone just had a blast, and for us it was important to kind of state our claim with Los Angeles being the first place that we held Tailgate Fest, but we really loved the charm of being in a city like Eastvale and bringing the concept of Tailgate Fest to something like the Lil Ranch. It's perfect.
What a better place to have an event like this on a ranch, where you're bringing the country music to an actual ranch. What a great opportunity. But going back to the whole safety issue, that is a concern of us. We have a very safe city. We were just recognized in the top 20 safest cities, where we're very proud. So that is something that we're very concerned with. So as you go back to, you touched upon it, Allison, you go back to your last event that you had, the last time you had this in Inglewood. Can you share with us a little bit more about the safety accolades that you received and kind of what the safety environment was like for that event?
Yeah, Yeah, do you want to hit this?
Sure. I mean, we can both hit it. It's for us, safety is a thing. It's paramount, right? Like we're nuts about safety, and we both of us. I mean, in the past 20 years of creating these events, we have a spotless safety record because of it. But at the forum, we had 0 arrests.
Wait a second. How many arrests?
0.
0.
We had 0 arrests. Yeah, we had 0 arrests at the forum. We had 0 fights at the forum. 0 injuries at the forum, and 0 drunken disorderly behavior. So we had a spotless day, and actually got a beautiful letter from the chief that was on site that day, who actually lives in this part of town, actually.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we got a great letter, and we have lots of letters like that of testimonials, but specifically about the safety attention that we give to our events. So, the LA Haunted Hayride does 80,000 people, and in 10 years, again, spotless safety record there as well. So it's, for us, it's prime importance, and again, it's us working closely with fire and safety, and police, and making sure that we're all on the same page and everybody is very comfortable with the levels that we've set in place and the structure that we have. But we spare no expense when it comes to safety.
When you think about it, almost every music event, almost every sporting event has tailgating happening prior to that event. We're the first of its kind of an event that has actually come in and put infrastructure into tailgating. So we're the first ever to really state claim in that and put that oversight, which would be happening regardless. But we've embraced it and figured out a really great safety model.
So sometimes we see the concerts go into the wee hours of the morning. Can you share with us a little bit of your time frame of the concert, as well as with this being a Tailgate Fest, kind of a weekend fest? People are still they're gonna camp overnight. So kind of when you've seen that the noise levels kind of start to die down, people start to go back into their campers.
Yeah, so typically, what we're going to do this year is that the first night, we're going to have music off by 11, and the second night it'll be off by 10, the staging music. And then beyond that, typically people settle themselves down, not too far after the end of music, although I think we're going to be instilling a curfew, so even if they don't want to settle down, we're just going to make them shut it down. So, that'll probably be like an hour and a half after the music comes off the stage.
So all the amplified music from the performers is going to be done approximately 11 o'clock the first night, 10 o'clock the second night.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll just shut people down with a curfew beyond that.
All right.
If we need to. Yeah.
So the Leo Ranch is one of the last active dairies that we have here in the city of Eastville.
Yeah.
You see cows driving by on Limonite, Hamner. In fact, we've had instances that some of those cows have gotten outside of the fences onto the roadways.
No.
So one of the questions that comes up is are those cows going to be around? Are they going to be roaming during Tailgate Fest? Or what's going to happen with those cows?
There will be no cows roaming at Tailgate Fest.
No petting zoos or anything?
No petting zoos. People will not see cows at Tailgate Fest. We're going to have the Leos are safely moving the cows to a section of the property. It's a massive property. They're going to have their own space far away from where anybody will be able to see them, and where they'll be able to see anybody. So yeah, we're taking care of the cows.
So just clarification on the exact location of where the stage is going. Can you share with us kind of where that's going and which direction it is going to be pointed?
Sure. As of right now, we're putting the stage in that row of eucalyptus, which is kind of like in the center of the field. So it's set pretty far off of Scholar, and it's facing the commercial area of the square. So it's the Eastville Gateway. So it's actually facing the commercial area, back to the residential area, and we've also taken it off of that street, by probably a quarter of a mile, because we're in the middle of the field. So with that sound coming the other way, those houses, behind the stage should hear very little. They'll hear, car noise, if anything.
That'll be great that it's not right up against those homes there.
Yeah,
they won't be affected that noise.
Pretty far away. I gotta say, the tailgating culture as a whole is a pretty friendly culture. Like, it's a very good, people are happy, even if, as we saw last year and all of the tailgates that we've been to just in our research, there's almost this communal camaraderie that people have, and you're there all day long and you're playing cornhole and you're grilling up, and people run out of supplies because they're there all day, and hey man, can I get a steak? I'll trade you some buns for a steak. So it becomes
fair trade.
It's not always fair. It's just what you need at the time. But so there's this very friendly camaraderie. It's the vibe is it's a happy type kind of crowd and population. It's incredible, which is why I think it took so well last year. It became very popular in its first year because people just loved it. They organically are calling it the best day of their lives.
Well, awesome. We are very excited for Tailgate Fest to come to the city of Eastville, especially knowing that it's going to be a safe event, knowing that it's going to be, we're going to have measures in place to mitigate traffic, to control traffic. So with this being said, especially with our residents, especially not only our residents, but also with people within the region, how do they find out more about this event, and how can they look more into this event?
So we have, our website is latailgatefest.com or socaltailgatefest.com. Either one will get you there. But there's, tons of facts and questions, and people can look to see if there's things that they, that they're asking, probably other people are asking. All the answers are there, and if they have answers that aren't being answered, or they need answers that aren't being answered, they can email us, call us. We're very easy to contact. So,
great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and once again, welcome to Eastville. We're so glad to have you guys.
We're
We look
so
forward to
happy
the
to be
event.
here.
Thank
Yeah.
you.